Ladies and gentlemen, by now you should already know me. My name is Izog Ernest. In the first segment of this video, I shall be talking about some of the problems that constrain young leaders like myself in this part of the world. As a young leader, one boundary that constrains me is the unwillingness of people to try out new ideas and concepts. People are willing to change the status quo, even when it is evident that the old methods of doing things is not yielding optimal results. People want to always play by the books, even when it is evident that the ideas as they are have become obsolete. People claim that they want change, but in truth, in reality, people resist change because they are afraid that the change might not be favorable to them. People in this part of the world look at people who come up with creative ideas with disdain and contempt. People look at them like people who have come to take them out of businesses and out of jobs. Another constraint that I'm facing as a young leader is the disunity in the nation, the disunity in our country. The country has become balkanized along ethnic and religious lines. Someone can come up with an idea that is novel, but people might reject it based on your religious or ethnic affiliations. The situation has become so bad that people can even reject your idea. They can go as far as rejecting your idea based on the political party you associate yourself with. And the things are it is getting worse as the days go by. Another problem that constrains me as a young leader is the problem of ageism. We live in a society where older ones are seen as having all monopoly of knowledge and wisdom. So when a young person like myself comes up with a novel concept or idea, the other folks try to discourage and talk you out of it because to them they think you are not old enough or intelligent enough to lead any strategic, socioeconomic, or political change. Another challenge we face in this part of the world as young leaders is the problem of bureaucracy and red tape. Uh, the red tape in government and organizations. If an idea or a concept is presented to a government agency or a private organization, it takes very long periods of time before they can get back to you or give you feedback. Within those periods, one can become discouraged or he might lose track of his ideas. I would be doing myself and young leaders like myself a great disservice if I do not mention this problem. As young leaders in this part of the world, we lack mentors. The lack of mentorship is stalling progress and it is stalling growth. Even when the mentors are available, they are unwilling to share or transfer the knowledge they have acquired to the younger generation. We are drowning in so much knowledge, but we thirst for wisdom. Due to the very low life expectancy in this country and the very poor healthcare delivery systems, these men and women who have acquired immense knowledge over the course of years pass away pass away with the knowledge they could have transferred to the younger generation. So when they die, they end up taking the knowledge they could have dispensed to the younger generation to the grave. No wonder someone says that when you go to the grave, you find so much unrealized potentials, unrealized dreams, which have been buried in the graveyard. Furthermore, we live in an environment where everything has been monetized. Everything and everybody almost has a price tag. People only follow and listen to those who have very deep pockets. As a young leader without much financial backing, it proves very difficult to try to galvanize people and influence them with ideas and concepts because most people are busy looking for where the next meal is going to come from. Leadership and followership here is determined on the premise that money is going to be shared somehow. Oh, sorry. Leadership and followership in this part of the world is determined on the premise that money is going to change hands somehow. In the second segment of this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the leadership qualities that best distinguish me. One of those is the fact that I am a good listener. I believe that the best way to talk is to listen. I am a good listener. I first seek to understand before I am understood, so that I am better able to give authentic feedback. I am not judgmental. I am open-minded, and because I am emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent, I have insights into people. I am always positive. I have good attitude to life, and it helps me to always be expectant. If I were pushed to the wall, I could add value by inspiring others to become better versions of themselves in line with their strengths. I would inspire people to be open-minded and to try out new ideas. After all, change is inevitable. This is my contribution to leadership and leadership roles. Daalụnụ, unu emeela, ẹ ṣé gan, nagode, thank you.